No one expected humans had railguns. The galaxy thought Earth was weak, but the first shot changed everything. Hidden weapons fired with unstoppable force, fleets shattered, and alien arrogance turned to fear. Humanity had arrived as a force no one could ignore. Don't miss the next epic HFY story. Hit subscribe and join us for more amazing adventures. Alien scanners floated silently above human colonies, picking up signals of life, energy, and minor activity. From the outside, humans looked fragile, weak, and completely unaware of the cosmic stage unfolding around them. The aliens had studied the planet for years, convinced that its inhabitants were primitive, with technology barely capable of space travel. Fleet commanders laughed quietly in their command rooms, certain that when the time came, Earth would fall without a fight. Reports of humans experimenting with electromagnetic weapons reached the higher councils of the aliens. They shrugged at the findings, calling them impractical and unlikely to change anything. The idea that humans could create weapons powerful enough to challenge even small fleets seemed absurd. Even among the alien spies, no one thought Earth posed any real threat. On the ground, humans went about their daily lives in peaceful cities, unaware of the watchful eyes in the sky. Children ran through parks, laughter echoing in the streets, while engineers and scientists quietly walked to laboratories and testing facilities. Factories hummed with energy as people produced everyday items, while secretly, other humans worked on something far greater. Hidden beneath mountains and oceans, secret bases held the real strength of humanity, energy surging through corridors designed to hide their experiments. Scientists and engineers adjusted calculations, measured energy outputs, and monitored tests that pushed physics to its limits. They spoke in hushed voices, knowing that the outside world could never understand the power they were unlocking. Military officers inspected schematics and plans, nodding silently as they prepared for a world that might arrive sooner than anyone expected. Yet outside, everything seemed normal, calm, and peaceful. The aliens watched the human colonies with overconfidence, their sensors scanning for threats. Every signal they received confirmed their assumptions. Humans were unarmed, unprepared, and weak. They could not imagine that beneath the surface, humanity had been building something that could challenge even the strongest alien fleets. This misconception filled them with arrogance and carelessness, leaving them blind to the storm brewing beneath the calm. Even small skirmishes in nearby space were dismissed as minor, irrelevant, and hardly worth attention. Fleet captains joked about human defenses, comparing them to toys and broken machinery. Maps and battle plans assumed no resistance, no hidden weapons, and no surprises from the seemingly innocent blue planet. Meanwhile, human leaders moved quietly, coordinating resources, monitoring alien signals, and refining their strategy. They were patient, knowing that the first strike would change everything. Every scientist and officer understood their place in a larger plan, one that relied not just on weapons, but on timing, precision, and secrecy. Conversations in command centers were careful, strategic, and measured, focusing on every possible outcome. Humans had learned from history that arrogance often preceded defeat, so they prepared meticulously, leaving no chance to error. They knew that one shot, if executed correctly, could rewrite the expectations of the galaxy. In cities above, people went to work, shopped, and laughed, never realizing the invisible thread connecting their daily lives to the fate of millions across space. The contrast between human normality and hidden power created a tension even humans could feel, a quiet energy pulsing beneath the surface. As the aliens made plans for invasion, Earth's hidden facilities powered up, energy surging through electromagnetic rails. Tests showed incredible speed, accuracy, and force, each trial pushing the boundaries further than the aliens could imagine. Humanity had not only prepared weapons, but had refined them into tools of precision and control. Yet, on the surface, humans smiled, greeted neighbors, and walked under sunlight as if nothing were coming. The calm was deliberate, a cloak to hide their preparation and patience. It was not fear that kept them quiet, but strategy, discipline, and the knowledge that the first strike would be the last surprise the aliens ever expected. The galaxy waited unknowingly, blind to the hidden might that would soon awaken. The calm before the storm stretched silently over cities, oceans, and mountains, hiding a power that could shatter entire fleets. Humans were ready. The aliens were not, and the stage was set for a confrontation no one could predict. Deep underground, hidden beneath layers of rock and reinforced steel, humans worked on a weapon unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. The railguns were enormous, stretching hundreds of meters in secret testing facilities, humming with energy that crackled through magnetic coils. Engineers monitored the flow of power, adjusting currents with precision, ensuring that every shot could reach speeds impossible for conventional weapons. They tested prototypes tirelessly, firing projectiles into massive reinforced targets, watching sparks fly as the impacts tore through steel and alloys. Every shot was measured, every result analyzed, and every error corrected. The scientists spoke in quiet tones, sharing discoveries and making improvements, aware that even a small mistake could ruin months of work. Despite the complexity of the machines, humans moved with confidence, guided by knowledge, training, and a deep understanding of physics. Military strategists observed the tests with growing excitement, imagining the possibilities of these weapons in battle. Maps and simulations displayed enemy fleets, their paths predicted, and the railguns' trajectories calculated with almost perfect accuracy. Commanders held long discussions, planning the first strike and considering how best to use this hidden advantage. They understood that the power of the railgun was not just in destruction, but in shock and fear, breaking enemy confidence before a fight even began. Every test built confidence, not just in the weapon, but in humanity's ability to fight smart, fast, and efficiently. Technicians worked around the clock, swapping parts, monitoring temperatures, and running calculations, knowing that the future of human survival depended on their precision. Meanwhile, the aliens continued their overconfident patrols, unaware that humans were not only ready, but prepared in secret. They assumed Earth's defenses were primitive, incapable of hitting targets beyond a short range. Their sensors missed the massive energy signatures hidden beneath the planet's surface, masked by advanced camouflage and stealth technologies. Every day, humans improved the railguns, increasing the velocity of projectiles, enhancing guidance systems, and testing against simulated enemy shields. Each improvement made the weapon more deadly, more precise, and more capable of turning a battle in humanity's favor. Engineers experimented with different materials for projectiles, looking for the perfect combination of weight density and magnetic responsiveness. Tests were conducted at all hours, and every successful shot added confidence to a plan that would soon change the galaxy's perception of humans. Even among humans, secrecy was strict, with only a few knowing the full extent of the railgun project. Communication between facilities was encrypted, and information was shared on a need-to-know basis. This ensured that if any alien spy managed to observe one part, the full scale and power of the weapon remained hidden. Workers understood that patience was as important as skill, that revealing too much too soon could give the aliens a chance to counterattack. They perfected the cooling systems, energy amplifiers, and magnetic rail alignments, making the weapons as reliable as possible. Simulations ran thousands of times, showing not just direct hits, but chain reactions, debris trajectories, and enemy response strategies. Every detail was considered, ensuring that when the first railgun fired in anger, it would have maximum impact. Outside, humans went about normal lives, interacting in cities, attending schools, and working in offices, completely unaware of the immense power being built beneath their feet. Yet every citizen indirectly contributed, whether through taxes, resources, or energy production, fueling the hidden project. Leaders coordinated logistics to ensure that nothing disrupted the delicate balance of secrecy and efficiency. The contrast between visible normality and hidden power created a sense of controlled tension, an energy that seemed to hum in the air. This tension was invisible to the aliens, who continued to underestimate the humans below, unaware of the weapon that could alter the fate of fleets and worlds. Finally, after months of preparation and testing, the railguns reached their full potential. Engineers confirmed that every system was ready, every projectile optimized, and every plan calculated. Commanders reviewed strategies one last time, imagining the moment when the first shot would fire, shattering alien assumptions. Humans had created not just a weapon, but a statement. A declaration that they were no longer the weak species the galaxy had assumed. Every part of the project, from magnetic coils to projectile design, reflected humanity's ingenuity, patience, and determination. The railguns were ready, the operators were ready, and the galaxy had no idea the storm that was about to erupt. The first shot would not just destroy a target, it would announce humanity's arrival as a force no one could ignore. All preparations complete. Humans waited silently, the calm before the storm now replaced by anticipation, hidden from alien eyes. An alien scouting fleet entered the outskirts of the solar system, their ships gliding silently through space. Sensors scanned for life, technology, and defenses, but all readings suggested that the humans were primitive and unprepared. Fleet commanders shared confident smiles, certain that the planet below could not pose any threat. They communicated in sharp, mechanical tones, discussing invasion strategies they assumed would succeed without resistance. Their ships were sleek, heavily armed, and optimized for rapid conquest. Yet, even with all their firepower, they overlooked a crucial detail. Humans observed the alien fleet from hidden orbital satellites and advanced detection arrays. Every movement of the invaders was tracked, recorded, and analyzed. Commanders watched the data streams, calculating ranges, speeds, and angles, knowing that one wrong move by the aliens could cost them dearly. In secret rooms, engineers monitored the energy signatures of the alien ships, comparing them to simulations they had run countless times. Even a small deviation could reveal weaknesses, and humans were ready to exploit every opportunity. Despite the immense power of the alien vessels, humans remained calm, confident in their secret weapon. The aliens sent communication signals, standard interstellar greetings meant to assert dominance. They assumed the humans would respond, beg for protection, or surrender without a fight. Yet the humans did not reply, remaining silent and hidden. This silence confused the aliens, making them slightly cautious, though arrogance still dominated their strategy. They assumed that any delay or lack of response was simply a sign of fear, not intelligence or preparation. Even so, the scouts pressed closer, moving toward the inner solar system with precision and speed. Each ship followed strict formations. Shields fully active, weapons ready for engagement. On Earth, scientists and military officers observed every detail, from the number of ships to their formation patterns. They ran countless simulations, imagining attack strategies, evasions, and counterattacks. Engineers checked the readiness of the railguns, ensuring that every system was fully operational. Commanders discussed contingency plans, deciding when and how the first shot would be fired. The humans understood that timing was everything, and patience would ensure maximum impact. Every crew member, scientist, and strategist knew their role, and coordination was flawless. The contrast between human calm and alien confidence created a tension that could almost be felt, an invisible line drawn across the void of space. As the alien fleet moved deeper into the solar system, their sensors began to show anomalies. Small fluctuations in energy readings they could not immediately identify. Technicians on the alien ships debated what they were seeing, each assumption more cautious than the last. Some argued it might be natural phenomena, while others suggested that perhaps the humans had some primitive defense. Yet no one considered the reality. Humans had weapons capable of destroying their ships in a single shot. The aliens were blind to the threat, trapped in assumptions built over centuries. Even as they approached Earth, the planet itself seemed quiet and unthreatening, its blue oceans and green continents masking the deadly power below. Humans prepared silently, moving final calculations into position. Each orbital railgun was loaded and tested, magnetic rails charged to maximum capacity. Operators monitored every vector, ensuring that when the moment came, the first projectile would strike with perfect precision. The decision of when to fire was not yet made, but anticipation filled the hidden command rooms. Everyone knew that one shot would shatter the aliens' assumptions and change the galaxy forever. Outside, the aliens maintained their arrogance, unaware of the storm brewing just beyond their sensors. The humans were patient, watching and waiting, ready to act with deadly efficiency. The fleet drew closer to Earth, completely convinced that their dominance was unchallenged. Their confidence masked the vulnerability that humans had carefully prepared for. The first real contact was about to happen, and neither side fully understood the consequences. Humans had all the advantage in secrecy, preparation, and surprise. The aliens had the advantage in firepower, speed, and experience, but they lacked imagination and caution. As the first ships entered orbit, the stage was set for an encounter that would forever change perceptions of humanity. Every second of observation and calculation had led to this moment, the calm before the storm transforming into the tension of imminent confrontation. Without warning, a single human railgun fired from orbit, the energy surge visible even through advanced alien sensors. The projectile accelerated faster than anything the aliens had ever measured, moving with a speed that defied expectations. It pierced through the lead ship's shields, the protective barriers designed to withstand entire fleets now failing in an instant. Explosions erupted across the hull, tearing metal and systems apart, debris scattering into the void. Alien officers froze in disbelief, their calculations shattered, and their confidence evaporating in an instant. The shockwave from the impact rippled through the surrounding fleet, sending smaller ships spinning out of formation. Communication channels filled with alarm, commands shouted, and sensors overloaded with unexpected damage reports. Humans watched silently from hidden orbital stations, monitoring every reaction. Commanders analyzed the effectiveness of the strike, noting the exact point of impact, the damage inflicted, and the resulting chaos among the enemy ranks. Engineers and operators readied additional railguns, knowing that timing and coordination could amplify the destruction. Despite the overwhelming violence, humans maintained calm, controlling the battle with precision and strategy. Every calculation had been tested countless times in simulations, and now reality matched their expectations. The aliens' confidence turned into confusion and panic, their advanced systems struggling to compensate for a threat they had not anticipated. On board the alien ships, alarms blared and lights flashed red. Crew members scrambled to contain damage, redirect energy, and stabilize shields, but every effort failed. The lead vessel, once considered invincible, was reduced to a burning wreck, drifting helplessly. Fleet captains attempted evasive maneuvers, but the humans had anticipated likely escape paths. Railguns fired again and again, each shot hitting with terrifying accuracy. Ships that had seemed untouchable moments ago were now casualties of a technology and strategy they could not comprehend. The shock and fear among the aliens were palpable, their arrogance replaced by disbelief and growing dread. Back on Earth, humans monitored the unfolding chaos, adjusting fire and focus with calculated precision. Commanders issued calm, clear instructions, synchronizing the orbital weapons to maximize effectiveness. Every strike was measured to destroy without unnecessary waste, showing a combination of intelligence and restraint. Scientists and operators noted every system response, ensuring that each subsequent shot would be as effective as the first. The precision of the railguns, combined with human strategy, demonstrated not just power, but superior planning and control. The destruction was methodical, each target selected to break formations, communication, and morale. The first shot had not merely destroyed a ship, it had shattered assumptions and proved humans capable of unmatched warfare. In the aftermath of the initial strike, smaller alien vessels attempted to regroup, but chaos reigned. Ships collided, shields failed, and communication networks faltered under the unexpected pressure. Crew members argued and panicked, unable to respond effectively to a threat they had ignored for too long. Every movement was anticipated by humans who had studied alien behavior and fleet patterns extensively. The railguns fired in calculated intervals, maintaining maximum pressure without overextending resources. Every success bolstered human confidence, reinforcing the lesson that preparation, patience, and ingenuity were more powerful than raw numbers. The first strike became a symbol, a clear message that humans could not be underestimated. As the dust of debris and shattered shields floated through space, humans observed without celebration. Their mission was not destruction for pleasure, but survival and demonstration of capability. Every officer, engineer, and operator understood the significance of this first strike. It was not only the start of a battle, but the beginning of a new perception of humanity across the galaxy. Aliens, for the first time, truly understood that humans were not weak, not defenseless, and not to be taken lightly. The calm patience of the humans had turned into decisive action, changing the course of the encounter instantly. The first shot echoed across the void, a signal that the galaxy had never seen anything like the hidden power of humanity. The stage was set for the conflict to continue, but one truth was already clear. Humans had arrived. and their railguns would forever alter the expectations of the cosmos. The alien fleet reeled from the first devastating strike, their formations broken and communications in chaos. Panic spread through their ranks as ships collided and shields failed. Even the most seasoned commanders struggled to regain control, realizing that their previous assumptions about humans were completely wrong. They had expected fear and surrender, not precision and overwhelming power. Every evasive maneuver seemed anticipated, every countermeasure rendered useless by human calculation and preparation. The railguns fired again, each projectile finding its mark, cutting through shields and hulls with terrifying accuracy. Alien sensors overloaded with data, unable to keep up with the unexpected attacks. Humans observed calmly, their operators monitoring damage reports and fleet movements. Commanders adjusted firing sequences to exploit weaknesses in real time. Every shot was measured, not wasted, focusing on key targets that would maximize disruption and destruction. Engineers monitored energy levels and railgun integrity, ensuring that the weapons could continue firing without failure. The combination of human strategy, technology, and discipline created a devastating effect, far beyond what the aliens had imagined. The fleet that had once seemed unstoppable was now struggling to survive. Chaos reigned among the alien ranks as fear and confusion replaced confidence. Onboard alien vessels, crew members fought to maintain control. Shields flickered and failed under the relentless assault. Weapons jammed, navigation systems crashed, and panic spread among the bridge officers. Orders were shouted, but coordination was impossible. Every decision hampered by the reality of human precision. Even the fastest ships could not evade the railguns. Their movements predicted and countered. The psychological impact of the attack was immense, instilling fear and doubt where arrogance had once dominated. Meanwhile, humans remained disciplined, their calm in stark contrast to the chaos of their enemies. Each operator knew their role. Each commander understood the broader strategy. Every movement and calculation had been practiced countless times. The railguns, powered by advanced electromagnetic technology, tore through alien defenses as if they were paper. Every projectile caused maximum damage with minimal waste. The combination of planning, technology, and timing demonstrated that human ingenuity was now the defining factor in the encounter. Smaller alien vessels attempted to regroup, forming ad hoc defensive lines. But humans anticipated these moves, striking with coordinated precision. Every strike was calculated to break morale as much as it was to destroy. The aliens were forced to retreat from certain positions, leaving key areas vulnerable. The humans had turned a tactical advantage into a psychological one, showing that the first strike was only the beginning of a larger plan. The fear in the alien ranks spread quickly, infecting even distant ships and making them hesitant to engage. Every hesitation allowed humans to consolidate control and maintain pressure. Back on Earth, scientists and strategists monitored the ongoing battle. They adjusted power outputs, calculated trajectories, and prepared for follow-up attacks. Every aspect of the railgun system was checked and recalibrated in real time. The humans had not only created powerful weapons, but had integrated them into a network of strategy and precision. The effectiveness of the attacks was amplified by their ability to adapt instantly to enemy behavior. Even the smallest vessels could not escape human control. The railguns became a symbol of human dominance, demonstrating that preparation and intelligence could overcome raw power. As alien fleets scattered, the destruction left in their wake was staggering. Ships burned, debris floated through space, and systems were disabled beyond repair. Commanders tried to regroup and rethink strategies, but every calculation had underestimated the humans' planning. The first strike had shown not only capability, but intent, a clear signal that humans were ready to defend themselves. The combination of technology, discipline, and courage made the humans a force the galaxy had never imagined. The aftermath of the attack left a lasting impression, a lesson in the dangers of underestimating a seemingly weak opponent. The first phase of battle had ended, but the shockwaves would ripple through the galaxy. Humanity had proven that it could fight with strategy, power, and precision, changing the way every alien species would see them forever. Human forces moved carefully but decisively, using the chaos they had created to assert control over the battlefield. Every maneuver was calculated to protect human colonies while keeping alien forces off balance. Commanders coordinated orbital railgun strikes with smaller ship deployments, creating overlapping zones of fire that left no enemy path safe. Each action demonstrated strategy, precision, and patience, showing that humans were not just reacting, but shaping the flow of the battle. The aliens attempted to regroup, but human calculations anticipated every move, blocking escape routes and targeting weak points. Even as alien ships tried to counterattack, the humans stayed one step ahead, using intelligence and preparation to maintain dominance. Every decision reinforced the lesson that the first shot had not been a fluke, but the start of a carefully planned campaign. Communication between human units was seamless, every officer understanding their role in a larger strategy. They shared real-time data about alien movements, adjusting targeting and positioning instantly. Engineers monitored weapon efficiency, ensuring that railguns maintained maximum output while conserving power for prolonged engagements. Strategists considered every possible alien response, creating fallback plans and contingency strikes. The human forces were united in purpose, their discipline and coordination magnifying the effectiveness of technology. Even small ships played vital roles, scouting, distracting, and drawing fire, while railguns focused on critical targets. Every unit, from the smallest scout to the largest command ship, contributed to a synchronized effort that the aliens could not disrupt. The aliens, once confident in their superiority, now faced a reality they had never imagined. Their fleets were fractured, communication lines strained, and their morale collapsing under the relentless pressure. Every attempt to adapt was met with countermeasures, leaving commanders frustrated and fearful. Shields failed, engines overheated, and weapon systems jammed as humans struck with precision. The aliens were forced to abandon positions, retreating from areas they had assumed were secure. Every step they took was anticipated, every strategy countered, and every miscalculation punished. Fear replaced arrogance, and hesitation spread like wildfire through the fleet. Humans, however, maintained calm and focus, turning every advantage into a tool for strategic dominance. They did not pursue unnecessary destruction, but focused on weakening enemy coordination and breaking morale. Every shot from the railguns was purposeful, every movement designed to maintain control. The combination of preparation, technology, and strategy created a rhythm that the aliens could not match. Even as alien ships attempted desperate maneuvers, human forces adapted instantly, countering attacks with minimal delay. Engineers and scientists monitored weapon systems in real time, predicting wear and stress. They ensured that human firepower remained consistent, precise, and unrelenting. As the battle progressed, the turning point became clear. Humans were no longer defending. They were commanding the engagement. Every move shifted the balance further in their favor, showing that intelligence and strategy outweighed brute force. Small fleets of human ships coordinated with orbital railguns, creating traps and kill zones. Alien ships that had once seemed untouchable were systematically neutralized, their power irrelevant against careful planning and execution. Humanity's unity and discipline contrasted sharply with alien panic and disarray. The first strike had been a warning, but these coordinated actions proved that humans could sustain their advantage and control the course of conflict. Every victory, large or small, reinforced the lesson that the galaxy had underestimated humanity at its peril. In command centers on Earth and in orbit, human leaders observed with satisfaction. They monitored alien reactions, adjusted tactics, and ensured every unit worked in harmony. Every action was deliberate, demonstrating that humans had prepared for far more than a single engagement. The railguns, powerful as they were, served as instruments of strategy, not just destruction. By combining technology, intelligence, and foresight, humans transformed the battlefield into a stage where they controlled every move. Aliens, for the first time, realized that their numerical advantage meant nothing without understanding, coordination, and anticipation. The turning point was clear. Humans had not just survived, they had imposed their will, reshaping the conflict in ways no one could have predicted. Every observation, calculation, and decision reinforced the new reality. The galaxy could no longer see humans as weak, defenseless, or insignificant. Humanity had claimed the initiative, dictated the pace, and established dominance through strategy and precision. The aliens, now cautious and fearful, could only react, never fully regaining the confidence that had once defined their approach. The battlefield itself became a testament to human ingenuity, patience, and tactical brilliance. Each successful maneuver was proof that the calm, preparation, and hidden strength of humanity had permanently shifted the balance of power. The first strike had changed perceptions, and this turning point cemented humanity's status as a force that the galaxy would never underestimate again. Every human involved knew the significance. The storm had arrived, and it was controlled by intelligence, precision, and unwavering strategy. Alien intelligence scrambled to understand what had just happened. Sensors and analyzers processed the destruction of their fleets. But data alone could not explain the scale, precision, and speed of human attacks. Reports of the railgun strikes reached command centers across multiple systems, and disbelief spread like wildfire. No fleet commander had ever witnessed technology or strategy so effective, and the arrogance that had once dominated their species was gone. They attempted to replicate the weapon's power through analysis, studying the energy signatures, projectile speeds, and targeting patterns. Every attempt to reverse engineer the railguns failed, leaving alien engineers frustrated and desperate. The lesson was clear. Humans had not just created a weapon, they had created an advantage that could not easily be matched. Back on Earth, humans observed the alien confusion with careful attention. Scientists and strategists monitored their responses. Ready to exploit every sign of weakness, commanders adjusted strategies in real time, coordinating orbital railguns and fleet maneuvers to maximize effectiveness. Every reaction from the aliens was predicted, and humans acted with precision, striking before the enemy could respond. Engineers worked to maintain continuous firepower, recalibrating systems, monitoring energy flow, and ensuring the railguns remained at peak efficiency. Communication between human units remained flawless. Every officer and operator synchronized in timing and action. The aliens had assumed that technology alone would dominate, but humans proved that planning, patience, and intelligence could overwhelm even superior firepower. Alien leaders convened emergency councils, trying to make sense of the attacks. They debated whether humans had some unknown energy source, a new form of weaponry, or hidden fleets they had not yet detected. Every theory led to more confusion, as none could fully explain the effectiveness of the railguns. Their fleets had lost cohesion, and morale among crews was collapsing. Some factions suggested retreat, but pride and fear of embarrassment kept them hesitant. Even the most experienced captains doubted their ability to counter humans. The realization that humanity could fight strategically, not just with brute force, caused panic and uncertainty. Meanwhile, human forces maintained a careful balance between aggression and control. They did not pursue total destruction unnecessarily, but focused on consolidating advantage. Every strike was calculated to keep the aliens off balance, weaken coordination, and assert dominance. Commanders coordinated orbital railgun strikes with ship movements, creating pressure points and traps. The humans anticipated alien maneuvers before they occurred, countering with devastating precision. Engineers monitored every system, ensuring reliability and maximizing output. Every unit, from satellites to orbiting stations, worked in harmony, demonstrating a level of coordination the aliens could not comprehend. Alien diplomats attempted to send messages, hoping to negotiate or intimidate. Their signals were ignored. As humans had no intention of showing weakness or revealing strategy, silence became a weapon, reinforcing the uncertainty and fear already growing among the enemy ranks. The aliens had never expected an opponent who combined intelligence, patience, and technological mastery. Every attempt at analysis only highlighted their lack of understanding. Humans had turned the first strike into a psychological weapon, demonstrating that the galaxy had underestimated them. The railguns were not just tools of destruction, but instruments of dominance, shaping both the battlefield and the perceptions of the enemy. As the alien fleet struggled to reorganize, humans maintained constant pressure. Every movement was anticipated, and every weakness exploited. The combination of planning, technology, and discipline allowed humans to control the pace of engagement. Even the most desperate alien maneuvers were neutralized, leaving them in disarray. The first strike had revealed human power, but this sustained campaign showed that it was no accident. Humans were not only capable of defending themselves, they were capable of reshaping the conflict entirely. Every action reinforced the lesson that the galaxy could not ignore humanity. In the aftermath, alien strategists reluctantly admitted that humans were formidable. The intelligence gathered from the failed attempts to replicate railguns confirmed that Earth's technology was beyond anything they had encountered. Reports from multiple fleets agreed. Humans had prepared meticulously, fought intelligently, and executed with precision. The hidden strength of humanity, combined with patience and strategy, had rewritten the rules of engagement. The first contact became a turning point in alien understanding, showing that humans were no longer a weak species to be dismissed. Every human participant knew the significance of their actions. The galaxy had witnessed a new era, one in which humanity's ingenuity, discipline, and hidden power demanded respect. With the railguns revealed and fully operational, humanity gained a position of strength unlike anything the galaxy had expected. Alien fleets, previously confident in their dominance, now approached with caution and fear, their strategies altered by the devastating reality of human technology. Every previous assumption about human weakness had been shattered, replaced by respect and apprehension. Earth's leaders coordinated orbital and planetary defenses, ensuring that humans maintained control over strategic zones. Communication networks linked every command center, satellite, and fleet, creating a seamless system of observation and response. Engineers monitored railgun energy output, recalibrating systems to maintain peak performance. Every shot, every maneuver was calculated to reinforce humanity's advantage. Diplomatic channels opened cautiously as alien species attempted to understand the sudden shift in power. They sent envoys to observe, negotiate, and perhaps intimidate, but the presence of humanity's hidden weapons changed every interaction. Humans maintained calm and authority, demonstrating that they could defend themselves and assert influence without unnecessary aggression. The first shot had been a warning, and the continued deployment of railguns showed that humans were capable of sustaining their advantage. Alien commanders studied every movement, every pattern, but even with advanced technology, they could not fully replicate the planning and precision they faced. Every failed attempt to counter human strategy reinforced the lesson that numbers and firepower alone were insufficient. Humanity's coordination, foresight, and innovation had become the defining factors in interstellar power dynamics. Within human command centers, leaders analyzed alien behavior and planned further actions. They prepared to negotiate from a position of strength, confident that their technology and strategy ensured safety and leverage. Scientists documented the effectiveness of railguns, refining their understanding for future developments. The demonstration of power had multiple effects. It protected human colonies, deterred aggression, and reshaped perceptions across the galaxy. Even minor skirmishes with alien patrols were now calculated to assert dominance without unnecessary risk. Every encounter reinforced the reality that humans were no longer to be underestimated. The railguns had become both a tool of defense and a symbol of human ingenuity and strategic thinking. Alien intelligence agencies scrambled to analyze and replicate human technology, but results were limited. They discovered that raw materials alone could not produce the same effect without the integrated systems and precise calculations humans had perfected. Every failed attempt heightened alien caution, slowing exploration and expansion near human territories. Galactic maps were redrawn, factoring in the hidden strength of Earth and its colonies. Even the most powerful fleets approached with trepidation, aware that a single miscalculation could result in devastating losses. Humans had changed the balance of power, and every alien species began to reassess prior assumptions. The galaxy, once dismissive of humanity, now acknowledged that a new force had emerged, one guided by intelligence, innovation, and unity. The impact extended beyond the battlefield into diplomacy and alliances. Humans were no longer passive observers, but active participants, negotiating treaties and influencing interstellar politics. Allies and enemies alike recognized that any engagement with humanity required preparation, respect, and caution. The first railgun strike had demonstrated capability, but the continued display of strategy and control established credibility. Every action reinforced the message. Humanity could defend itself, project power, and maintain order. Even in situations without combat, the presence of human technology shifted decisions, deterred aggression, and inspired caution. The legacy of the first strike became a reference point in galactic discussions, a story of unexpected power and careful planning. Human leaders continued to prepare for the future, expanding infrastructure, researching new technologies, and maintaining readiness. The railguns, once secret, became symbols of progress, innovation, and resilience. Every citizen contributed indirectly through science, resource management, or support to the ongoing strength of their civilization. The lessons of patience, preparation, and precision guided further development, ensuring that humanity remained ahead of potential threats. Alien observers, once arrogant, now approached with respect, acknowledging the unexpected rise of humans as a dominant force. Every encounter, negotiation, and strategic decision reflected the new reality. Humanity had proven its place in the galaxy. The first shot had changed history, but the sustained presence of human ingenuity, discipline, and technology ensured that the galaxy would never forget the day humanity rose from the shadows. Humanity's influence spread through observation, diplomacy, and demonstration of power. Every alien fleet, every council, and every envoy now understood that the blue planet was no longer defenseless. The combination of railgun technology, strategic thinking, and disciplined coordination had created a legacy that would endure. The galaxy had witnessed a transformation. A species once underestimated, now respected and feared for its ingenuity and preparedness. The first strike had been just the beginning, a spark that ignited a new era of human strength and presence. Every future interaction would carry the memory of that moment, a reminder that humans were now a force to be reckoned with. With control secured, technology advanced, and strategy perfected, humanity entered a new era, forever changing the way the galaxy saw them.